Okay, I actually wrote this down. Yeah, normally I just wing it. I had to write this one down. I thought long and hard about what to say on behalf of my dad for a crowded room of people who deeply care about him and whom he sincerely returns that affection. Reflecting on the many times I've been the recipient of sage advice from my dad, there is a multitude of instances where I'd found myself in a life's not fair situation. Other times, life was being abundantly fair to me. I had just made some bad decisions that had put me in a less desirable spot. Since the beginning of time, daughters have looked to their fathers for advice, and sons have looked to their fathers as an example. I can say with confidence that this room is filled with fathers who have demonstrated beautifully for their children what it means to be a strong, faithful, hard-working Christian man. And today, we honor my dad. My radio career started in 2006. Fresh out of college, I found myself following in the path of my father, and that was a badge of pride for me. My first real paying gig was at a smaller radio station that experienced a variety of bumps in the road, ones that I was not accustomed to, ones you may have read about in the paper, and ones that made me question my professional future. When considering my next move, should I stay or go, I was riddled with emotion about leaving the path that my dad laid out and venturing on to a new one. I emailed my dad. I told him of my angst in my current position, and most of all, how I felt I'd be letting him down by leaving the industry. Dad emailed me back. And on this day, where we honor him, his decades in the broadcasting industry, the relationships he's built, a few that he'll quietly leave behind, and most importantly, those that he cherishes with you, who are scattered throughout these tables this evening, I leave you with the words he left me on that day when I felt very lost, afraid of letting him down. I can't start crying now, I have 2 more pages. And seeking the wise words from a man that seems to have the perfect thing to say at just the right time. Dad wrote, "When I tell friends that you got a mass comm degree and a job in radio, they usually chuckle and say, 'And you let her do it?' They are being facetious, of course, because they love radio and they know that kids usually do what they want to do. Me not withheld from that. But they also know how dog-eat-dog the media business can be. Back in the 1930s and 40s, radio was king. Then came television. The music recording business saved radio. Then came FM. The talk radio format saved AM. Then came the internet and XM satellite. Our business reinvents itself with every new technological advance. It seems that a job situation can be stable and productive, and then the technology changes, or the market changes, or the economy changes. That's the way it will always be. Those periods of instability produce winners and losers. As Mr. Potter said to George Bailey when the 1929 bank run happened, "You saved the building and loan, I saved the rest." That dark day of a stock market crash was an opportunity for Mr. Potter, and for George Bailey. I can't tell you whether or not to stay in the radio business. You could seize this opportunity to find the next job, or hang on with white knuckles hoping the situation will stabilize. You could hang on and become very valuable to new ownership. You could hang on and get terminated by new owners who want their own new people. You could leave the media business and all of its volatility and embark on a different, less turbulent course. And we'd support you in whatever direction you chose. The most important thing is that you work through this time cradled by the Lord. These times happen in life so that the Lord can ask the question, will you trust me in this? Proceed with caution and pray for God's guidance. In my experience, he is more likely to reveal his will in the 9th inning rather than the 1st. I've carried that message with me since Dad sent it to me. I checked the date on the message. It's July 23rd, 2008, exactly 4 years before Jared and I welcomed our daughter Jensen into the world. I don't think I'm in my 1st inning anymore, and I'm certainly not yet in my 9th. But since that note was printed on my computer, I've continually reminded myself of Dad's words, and I've asked myself how I will answer when God says, will you trust me in this? So now that you're in your, say, 7th inning stretch, not 9th, thank you. Remember to trust in God. Know that your family loves you, respects you, and thanks you for the many years of providing for hungry and often thankless mouths. For cheering in the stands after a long day at work, for using your hard-earned cash to pay an unnamed daughter a quarter a rebound, and for making a Christian education possible that laid a firm foundation with which we each live our lives. Congratulations on your retirement, Dad. We love you.